A massive Russian military convoy moving toward the Ukraine capital of Kyiv. What was first believed to be 17 miles long, we now know to be a 40-mile military convoy. Our Robert Sherman begins our coverage today. He just arrived in Ukraine from Poland overnight. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, Adrian, and I can hardly put into words how different this looks compared to Poland, where we've been the last few days. There's military militia crawling all over the place. There's tension in the air everywhere as Ukrainians prepare to once again defend their homeland. Day 6 of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and an already relentless bombardment is picking up. In Ukraine's second largest city, a site of fierce Ukrainian resistance. New video shows a rocket attack on a government building. Ukrainian officials say residential areas were also hit. They fear dozens of civilians are dead. A school was also left burnt and badly damaged as Russian and Ukrainian troops fight one another in the streets of Kharkiv. In another town, at least 70 Ukrainian soldiers and dozens of civilians were killed by a Russian rocket attack, according to local politicians. New satellite images show Russian convoys closing in on its biggest prize, the capital of Kyiv. This column of tanks, trucks, and soldiers stretches for 40 miles, with some traveling 3 to 4 across. Across the border in Poland, a massive humanitarian effort is underway to help the hundreds of thousands of refugees housed in temporary camps. Bodania Belopachuk made it out of her war-stricken country with her family, but the joy is short-lived, as not everyone is together.
We are not reunited because my father is not here. He stayed there to protect Ukraine from the enemies. I feel my family is not complete.
But many Ukrainians are staying here prepared to fight. One militia member who we just met a few hours ago told us that if the Russians invade his hometown, he'll fight them off with whatever he has, guns, knives, anything. Adrian?
Robert, we're seeing these images of missile strikes, and it's so sobering to see everyday, ordinary citizens stay and try to fight for their country. I can't imagine having to do that here in the U.S. What have your first few hours been like in Ukraine?
I can hardly put into words how tense everything feels over here in Ukraine. Just the moment that we pass through the port of entry into Ukraine, you see this line of cars that we measured out to be about 12 miles long. That's not even the longest that it's been over the last couple of days. But residents have told us that it takes over a day, sometimes multiple days, in order to get through into countries such as Poland. So there's a lot of tension. Are people going to be able to get out of the country? You also have all these checkpoints everywhere that you go, in which there are armed militia members asking where you're going. And it always feels as though that, like, you have to say the right thing at the right moment. Otherwise, things could get out of hand. It is very tense. Everyone is very nervous about what's happening here. But that's the reality of the situation here in Ukraine.
What is it like? I mean, in terms of where you're going to stay? I'm always curious to know. I've covered foreign stories myself, but not during a time of war. I would imagine that you all would have to be very careful about what neighborhood you're in and who you're talking to.
That's exactly right, Adrian. And I think it's worth remembering that the situation changes constantly out here. So, I mean, where you see a lot of the firefighting going on is in the eastern portion of the country over into Kyiv. Where we are right now, we're more in the western portion of Ukraine. For now, it's safe and it's quiet. But as we've seen over the last few days, the situation unfolds in a different manner and quickly. So we don't know what this area that you see behind me is going to look like tomorrow, 3 days from now, next week, anything of the kind.
Well, and again, all of these troops, these Russian troops, are moving in towards the capital of Kyiv, and that's their target. So likely we're not going to see the same kind of activity where you are. At least that's my hope. But I do know that you are seeing long caravans of people still trying to get out and get to Poland, correct?
We are. And what we have seen is that it's no longer just Poland. We've seen the numbers for Slovakia and Romania increase as well. The numbers still stand a bit north of 500,000 people have gotten out of Ukraine to this point. The EU's numbers are still estimating that 7 million Ukrainians are going to be displaced by this whole conflict. So there's still a long way to go. A lot more people are going to try and get out of the country over the next couple of days. But it is a mad dash in order to get out of the country. And it takes a long time. That customs line that we went through, it's a process. And you see people who are stuck. They're queued up for miles upon miles. And that's just the reality of the situation. Everything is slow moving. Everything is tense here in Ukraine.
People are desperate to get out of that war zone. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.